Happy Friday. Welcome back to Southern Light Work. I have been struggling today. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know what it is. Mercury retrograde, even though I don't let it be the boss of me, is trying me. It's doing what it does. There's communication issues. There's just things going wrong that shouldn't be going wrong. I've inadvertently signed up for 2 subscriptions by mistake, just like trying to make a single purchase and it's a subscription instead. And I got to figure out how to go in and cancel it because they don't want you to cancel it. My YouTube background noise was disrupted and it was not working. I don't know. I haven't had any internet connection issues for weeks now. And all of a sudden, when I decided I wanted to do this reading, it just stopped. And then as soon as I picked my decks, it started back up by itself. So I'm feeling like there's something that our ancestors want us to know or do or both. Because Mercury retrograde invites us to slow down, to reflect, to think about what we need to do, what we've been putting off. And so all of these things that in the 3D sense are disruptions, they're really just things to get our attention. That's how I choose to think about it. To get your attention, to make you sit down for a second. Stop trying to move so fast. Everything we do is so fast. It has to be fast, it has to be quick. We got to get fast results. We want instant gratification. We're not losing weight naturally anymore. We're not accepting our natural bodies anymore. And I'm not judging. It's just something I notice. It's my own values. So your values are your values. And I don't think anybody needs to change the way they feel or think or do anything. But it's just, something to be aware of. But I was walking yesterday in a forest. I went for a really good hike, almost 3 miles, which is good for me because I've been really inactive for a while. But I got to a point in the trail when I was feeling a little discouraged. I was almost unsure of my feet because I had on hiking boots, but there's a lot of leaves and pine straw, which I know to be pretty slippery, or could be slippery, especially if you're going up an incline. And I was already trying to time it so that I could, I wouldn't get too far and then not have enough time to make it back because I had to get home to relieve my mom's caregiver by a certain time, and I had a therapy session. So I'm thinking about all these things are going through my head. I'm like, do I want to take my chances going up this hill and not making it, sliding down, or taking too long and then I'm too late to get back. So all these things that crossed my mind about not moving forward. And then, in the next second or two, I was like, you know what? F it. I'm going to go because I got a few more minutes. She said she's staying a little bit later today. So let me keep walking for at least another 15 minutes. I get to that hill, and at that second, I'm thinking about, how beautiful nature is, how, trees always remind me of ancestors, and how they just always have our back, and these roots that are exposed, they're going towards the water, but they are exposed for us. And I just crossed over one that, if you weren't looking closely, you could trip over it. Just like a stump of what used to be a tree. It looked like a small tree. But as I had that thought and I'm walking up this hill, I noticed that there are several horizontal roots, almost strategically placed, like stairs. And I got so emotional because I'm a crybaby, but I got so emotional in that moment thinking about how I doubted myself. I came up with excuses. I was thinking that I shouldn't do it. And then the stairs appeared. Our foundation, our ancestors, our lineage, they can create stumbling blocks for us, or they can create stairs a way to make the ascension easier, to help us out when you could easily fall, but they make it easier. Our roots make it easier for us to climb, to go to where we're supposed to go. Whether that means success for you, if it means health for you, if it means money, if it means just like not doing some of the same things that your ancestors did. Recent and distant ancestors. And I pulled out a dowsing chart. I just looked this up, a spirit identification chart, because I've been feeling the presence of somebody today. Somebody or somebody's. And I might use that to see if we can get even more clues as to who might be around. So I don't know how easy. I haven't really figured out the camera angle yet for you to be able to see the pendulum as it chooses, but we're gonna see if this shows up. So I do thank the ancestors that are present at this moment, the ancestors that are guiding us, mine and anyone's watching this reading or listening to this reading who want to step forward to help the collective, to guide us. Thank you to my ancestors that made themselves known yesterday, the cardinal, the male and female cardinals that flew past me, ahead of me. May our ancestors go ahead of us and help us by preparing that way, even now in the spirit realm, to continue guiding us, to continue being those beacons of light, and showing us the right direction, steering us away from the pitfalls that they went to, that they can see that we can't see. I thank my spirit team. Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Mary Magdalene, the Most High God. Please make me an open channel for this message. Be for the highest good of myself and anyone watching or listening. And so it is. So let me calibrate the pendulum. So I haven't used her in a while. She is clear quartz. Please, I'll make sure I'm in the middle. Okay. Show me yes. Okay, pulling to the right. Show me no. Okay, we'll pull to the left. Stop. Okay, Spirit, please show us if there's a spirit here with us right now. Please show us which spirit or spirits are with us right now. It's kind of going in a circle. But it is pointing to, looks like deceased relative. Now it's sort of pointing to ancestor deity archetype. And a little bit of a diagonal. Okay, we're going to go with that. Deceased relative, ancestor, deity archetype. It was between those three. Okay, so we're going to see who that could be with the character oracle. each. I don't know how much we're going to get about a deity or archetype from this deck, because I don't know how many there are, but let's see. Okay, for the deceased relative. What can you tell us about that deceased relative? Okay, 2. Betrayal and father. So a father figure, paternal authority, ancestral passage, and a betrayal. Deceit, disloyalty, conspiracy, broken bonds. So it could be a father figure that betrayed you. It doesn't have to be anybody that was, it doesn't have to be your actual father, but someone who was a father or father figure. Whoever that might mean, what that could mean for you. What about the ancestor? Is this a separate ancestor? An educator? Imparter, mentor, guide, or teacher. Okay, so there's an ancestor and the deity or archetype. Employee. Worker, service, consultation. And for this, actually, this doesn't have to be anybody that's deceased for me. Because there are earth angels walking around here. So I'm gonna say that it's not necessarily a passed over person. We'll see. All right. Well, let's get some ancestor messages, some ancestral healing oracle cards. What do we need to heal about this, regarding this father figure that is involved in some type of betrayal? Deceased relative that is a father figure that is involved in a betrayal. Be somebody you're aware of and somebody that you have never heard of. But let's see. Already hearing something in the bloodline. That could be anywhere in your bloodline. What is some ancestral healing for that? Develop familial compassion. It's 36. Yeah, I'm already feeling like, because of history of chattel slavery, which many of us are products of. I think you get where I'm going with that. By developing familial compassion, how many people were conceived from rape, from forced sexual encounters? I'm sorry, trigger warning, I should have warned you. That's a betrayal by a father figure, somebody who made babies with people that they would never be in a relationship with or marry. And that could have followed us into this timeline. Most recent generations just not having any familial compassion. You know, we don't realize that sometimes the strife that we're dealing with in this lifetime is generations old. It's been handed down. Just like your eye color, just like your hair color, your hair curl pattern, your body shape, the way that you cook, you know, just all of that comes from somewhere. I know I for sure have a white great-grandfather. Sorry, great-great-grandfather. What about the educator? What do we need to heal about in relation to this ancestor who was an educator? Please, one card for the educator. Okay, got 2. Live your true purpose, which is a 12, reduces to a 3, and listen to your inner guidance, which is 26. Sounds like something a teacher would say. Specifically a philosopher, possibly, to live your true purpose. This is an image of, it looks like a feminine holding the hand of a child, walking in the forest or garden part of a forest. And I just asked for ancestors to help continue to guide us right on our paths. And listen to your inner guidance. So it's really like pointing back to you. Your ancestor, who was an educator, wants you to focus on you. Focus on your own healing. Focus on your purpose, your inner guidance. Trusting yourself. What about this employee? Living or deceased? What is the ancestral healing message for the employee? Employee archetype. Okay, well, maybe that's the one that wants to come out. Number 5, befriend your inner child. Befriend your inner child. So right away, this is giving me 5s are about conflict and change. There's a key hanging on this wire up here. I see clothesline, actually. It feels like a clothesline, but it's a heart-shaped key top. Keys are definitely about change and unlocking new doors. But since there's a heart involved, it's like your heart chakra. It's about so much. Befriending your inner child. You know, there's so much that we regret or resent about our childhood, or that, you know, the parts of us that were weak or naive or unable to really enjoy life, or when some of the fractures in our psyche happened were during childhood, when we lost our innocence, when people revealed their true selves to us, or, you know, we were convinced that our true self wasn't enough, or wasn't safe to be our true selves, and we had to bury the things that we loved and put them aside, put away childish things when you become an adult, right? All of these things that we're taught as kids that takes away our happiness, takes away our joy, takes away what comes to us naturally. And sometimes it's because of the jobs we choose. It's because of the line of work that we go into that make us think that we can no longer play, that we can't find joy in what we do or outside of what we do. Maybe this is about not doing that thing anymore. If befriending your inner child means that you have to let go of your career or your aspirations because they're not in alignment with who you were as a kid. They're not in alignment with if you were really honest with yourself, what would truly make you happy. And Spirit wants you to pay attention to that. I can get with that for sure. Okay, so what's our advice from the Enchanted Map Oracle? Oh, you know what? I'm going to get tarot first. Let's ask tarot where we are in our understanding of that and our progression towards what we should be doing, what our ancestors want us to do, how we could be living our lives even better than we currently are. I also know that there's some ancestors around me today because I was helping my mom to the bathroom earlier and just started sneezing out of nowhere. That's a sign for me, because I mean, I'm allergic to everything, but there was nothing that should have made me sneeze. There was nothing that should have triggered that, right? Like no change in temperature, no dust particles that I could see. I didn't kick up anything, and all of a sudden I'm sneezing. So just split the deck on Ten of Pentacles and already lost it. Okay, let me focus. You focus. One more, please. Oh my goodness, I can't shuffle. All right, try one more time. Good shuffle, please. Okay. Where is the collective in this part of the journey? Dealing with this deceit and betrayal. Ace of Wands, but it flipped over. I'm going to take this in reverse. It feels like you've had an opportunity, but you haven't taken it to work on this familial compassion. I think your ancestors are asking you to revisit that. You know, like aces are potential, not guarantees. So, oh my God, my tattoo is itching so bad. I'm sorry. It's distracting. So that could be significant too. You could have something that is really distracting you because of it's uncomfortable. Something is really uncomfortable and distracting. That could be a person, it could be a condition, a living condition you're in, I'm hearing. Maybe you're living with somebody that you need to have compassion for, that you're finding hard to do. It's distracting you from the work that you need to be doing to heal the ancestral patterns, to heal the connection with that person. Look, from personal experience, I thought that, not living with somebody that I was having strife with would fix things, would help things. And in some ways it did, but in a lot of ways it won't. It's just, you could be thinking about not living with this person anymore, but just know that it goes beyond the physical proximity to this person. It's going to require a reciprocal effort, a joint effort. That's for somebody. Cannot do it alone. But just know that it's been passed down. Whatever is going on between you and this other person or other people, it's been passed down. The fracture is generational. It's inherited not through blood, but just, behavior. And I think you're being called to be the one to change it if you want the opportunity. What about this living your true purpose and listening to your inner guidance? Where are you with that? Okay, I got the Three of Wands. Didn't hit the table, but it flipped over. So I think you are in the action stage of actually making those plans, even if you haven't carried anything out yet. It's another 3. So that's progress. What about befriending your inner child? Wow. Did y'all see? See what card that is? The Sun in reverse. Got some work to do here, my friend. You know, just finding your happiness, finding what brings you joy, no matter who's involved, whether you're by yourself or not, you know, just really sitting in silence, maybe sitting alone, sitting with your feelings, maybe some feelings that are hard to allow to come through. You know, we can get so caught up in our everyday and the life that we orchestrate and the masks that we wear, and completely neglect that. We can completely neglect our attempt to access our own emotions. They can become inaccessible if you stuff them down so long and so far down. And what, I don't know, but this is, they can become so hard to reach if you let it go too long and too far. You'll need help accessing your emotions again. And I feel like that's where some of us are, that we don't recognize the feelings. They've been gone so long, they've been like suppressed so actively that we don't recognize them anymore when they come up. And what do you do when you see something you don't recognize? You're scared. So you're sometimes, you know, like either you're scared or you just immediately block it, but we need to be curious about them. You know, bring back the curiosity of an unexplored emotion, an unfelt emotion, a stuffed emotion. It's the path to healing. It's the path to growth when you don't run away from it. When you realize that like being childlike is potentially a way to save your life, to bring you back from the brink of exhaustion, from overwhelm, from being a people pleaser, doing things for other people that don't serve you, that you've done so much for other people that when it comes to taking care of yourself, you don't have any energy left. And as I've told many, many clients that are dealing with depression or somewhere in between, you know, apathy and depression, is that sleeping is not a coping mechanism. Sleeping is avoidance. When you're not just sleeping because you've been up all day or whenever your prime time is that you're working or doing things with other people, if you are sleeping to avoid feeling, that is avoidance. That's not a coping mechanism. It's not a healthy one. It is one, but it's not a healthy one. That's for somebody too. So, some advice. You know, I kind of want to get my Unblocked oracle out too for some additional messages. We'll see. This one may wrap it up from the Enchanted Map Oracle. What is the advice for getting out of this? I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm talking to 3 different people. It may resonate for all of you, for you, all 3 of these piles, but maybe just one will resonate. What is the advice for this Ace of Wands in reverse? Oh, wow. Home. It's 27. I'll pull them all before I get the guidebook. for the educator, wide open. That goes with this. It's a 6. 42 reduces to a 6. I'll hold the cards up again. And not straight. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much with the organization of the cards. What about the sun in reverse for this employee archetype? This deity archetype who's an employee. Commitment. Okay, so let's see what the guidebook says. And actually, I didn't read the ancestral healing cards. All right, so that. So we're developing familial compassion. This one says, understand your family's struggles. While you might be nursing some hurts from particular family members, it's important that you spend some time understanding their life story, what happened to them that shaped their particular personality and outlook on life. When you understand the experiences that created their inner foundation, you can find compassion. Can you find compassion for their struggles? This can help you to step out of judgment, condemnation, and harshness, and instead see those individuals in a new light. If they still play a central role in your life, you can create clear, healthy boundaries that come from a place of benevolence. Empathy softens your heart and leads toward kindness to yourself and others. You then have an opportunity for self-forgiveness, especially when you have been harsh or unkind to those close to you. The more conscious you become of your own patterns, the more you can work on refining those and start to lead by example. This will transform your relationships with your kin, especially with your children or grandchildren if you have them. So, if you haven't taken the opportunity, if you've been feeling like this ain't my job, it's for somebody else in my lineage, no, it's for you. And if you haven't taken this opportunity, the Enchanted Map Oracle wants you to know with the home card, you are comfortable in your own skin. You belong. In the upright, peace, security, safety, belonging, and all the features one would want from home are indicated now. The home card represents an invitation to experience what it's like to be secure in your own skin, to live comfortably no matter what is happening in the world around you. It's time for opening your eyes to your tribe of like-minded people or one special person who makes you feel like you've come home. Home is love, and love is all around you now. Whatever your inquiry, you are where you're meant to be and will reap great benefits by staying on this path, regardless of where it leads. Home will always be with you. It is where the heart is. So, yeah, you can create this. You can stop waiting for somebody else to fix the generational wounds, the betrayal that has been passed down, maybe the animosity towards father figures, maybe, towards any of the father figures that you have in your recent past, in your present, because that's what's passed down. You create the home that you want. You get to do that. It's not somebody else's job. And also, why would you trust somebody else to do it if you can do it better than they can? Like, trust yourself enough to do exactly what you need to be done. And oh God, it's itching. Oh, itching. Okay. Now for the educator's lineage. Live your true purpose. And this is our ancestor. Ancestor who's an educator. Live your true purpose. Get ready for fresh adventure. Wow, that's nice. To live your true purpose, you need to listen to your heart and reconnect with your divine child. There's more of that. Who used to believe in magic and blessings and revere heavenly beings. This child can lead you towards the guidance of your guardian angel and initiate new adventures. That's beautiful. The idea is to discover why you want to do something great and limit feeding any doubt. You don't need to know how things will occur, only that once you take a step towards your life purpose, the kind of support you have never experienced is going to appear. It may not be instant, but if you keep persevering, more and more people will be at your side assisting you to grow. You have to trust your soul, and the intention is brought into this material reality. I'll read that again. You have to trust your soul and the intention it brought into this material reality. This is your chance to not only fulfill your soul's vision, but to fearlessly go beyond it and consciously evolve. You are capable of so much more than you know and have done so far. Give yourself permission to surpass all your limitations and thrive. This doesn't mean you have to rush forward and skip steps. In fact, you're being asked to move with determination and commitment to what you know you are here to achieve, offer, and bring forth. So we're talking about you can't skip steps. This looks like this educator is doing some type of math, right? You can't skip steps in a mathematical equation. And I am no mathematician, but I do understand that much. As far as I got with college trigonometry, I think I took business calculus, failed miserably. But I do know that's relevant to this card. You can't skip steps. And an educator is going to encourage you to be curious. That's what your educator ancestor wants you to realize, that like being curious, being childlike, it all pays off. And then for number 26, the Ancestor Healing Oracle card that came out with this one. Listen to your inner guidance. Take a leap of faith. You might be feeling as though you need advice or assistance from your family. Although it could be helpful to listen to their suggestions, it is vitally important that you go within and heed your own instincts. While your relatives may want the best for you, they are not you, and may be harboring their own limits and notions, which have nothing to do with your deepest dreams and desires. You are about to be faced with a big choice, and the decision you make could have a major impact on the direction your life takes. Do not rush into anything. Take your time to hear the whispers of your intuitive knowing. You might even ask your higher self or your angel to show you the best step to take now, a step that could surprise you and shock your family members. Even if it feels new and scary, take a leap of faith and know that you're being led to something innovative and extremely impactful. Deep inside, you know that you can do this, even if people close to you attempt to raise some doubts. Do not give energy to the doubts, but instead keep developing your courage. And I mentioned that earlier for, the things that people do to discourage you, even the closest to you. So, with the Three of Wands, taking action, taking that leap of faith, and we get the wide open card for your advice. My enchanted map, you are free to express your uniqueness to the world and share in all the bounty of life's endless possibilities. This person looks like a human, is sprouting wings. Her arms are wings. They look like butterfly wings, or like, are they sleeves or are they wings? They could morph into wings. All manner of opportunities are presented to you at this time. The wide open card is a signal that you're able to truly manifest your dreams and that your goals are in sight. Don't remain small and contracted. Instead, expand your horizons beyond what you believe to be your limitations. You have a unique voice that needs to be expressed in the world. The universe is supportive of new ideas and approaches at this time, so speak up and speak out. This card is the sign of the maverick who freely roams the wide open space of possibility. Allow for a greater vision to replace old ideas as you dream a grander dream. Yes. Yes. Stop playing small. Be who you're called to be. And a lot of you already know who that is, and you're afraid or you're being discouraged, and it's time to step out of that. It's time to trust your inner child. See what that card description says. Nope, I'm on the wrong page. Get off the wrong page. Get on the right page. Befriend your inner child. Nurture your creative self. It all ties together. When was the last time you took a moment to check in and discover the emotional state of your inner child? This younger aspect of you has been feeling unsafe, confused, and unimportant, and is desperately seeking your attention and support. You need to befriend this young child and find out what is truly affecting it. This could be related to unresolved issues from the past or something that's occurring in a current intimate relationship that is triggering fear and anxiety. When your inner child feels neglected, you will often experience nervousness, uncertainty, and insecurity. In your external life, you may find that projects that were flowing with ease come to a sudden halt. Your inner child is one of your most creative aspects. When this part feels unacknowledged, nurtured, and happy, everything in your life will fall into place. Let me read that again. Your inner child is one of your most creative aspects. Who you wanted to be when you were little. When we forget that, we lose touch with our nervous system. Like, it's out of control. It feels unsafe. When this part feels when it feels acknowledged, nurtured, and happy, everything in your life will fall into place. Look for synchronicities and magical occurrences as you connect with your inner child and help it grow. So, like I said, if that means quitting a career that you thought you wanted to do, that you wanted to be in, to nurture your inner child, really consider doing that. With commitment, this card description is: a true commitment is a responsibility of the heart, mind, body, and soul. This is a good time to make one. Partnerships formed at this time are harmonious and powerful. The commitment card also indicates the natural evolution of a relationship from its inception to a literal or metaphorical marriage. At the very least, there is a promise of fulfillment in some form. However, you must be conscious of what you're committing to. Be clear about the nature of your commitment and your responsibility to it. Others are more willing to enter into partnerships at this time. Remember that your partnership with Spirit and the highest version of your own self will engage the highest self in another. Your inner child will bring out the inner child in another person. By you befriending your inner child, whatever this partnership is, if it's romantic, this sounds romantic to me. So even if you don't see that coming, you haven't been asking for it, wishing for it, it is yours if you want it right now, is what I'm getting. So even these cards in reverse, it's just a reminder. This Mercury retrograde is a reminder of what has been presented to you, or what is yours if you want it. If you just acknowledge it, take advantage of it. It's an opportune time for everything to happen the way that you need it to. And this fire horse energy of this year, we're into the third month, almost done with the third month of this year, the first quarter of the year. There's still time. There's still time. But healing the past, not letting it dictate who you are and how you live the rest of your life, is key. That is the key to this. And, the way that our ancestors and our deceased relatives, same thing, the way that they are still guiding us, whether they choose to or not, whether they pick up that mantle and want to be actively involved in our lives right now, their patterns, their failings, all of those things are passed down to us, and it's up to us to improve the trajectory of our lives by healing. You fix everything by healing, by choosing to heal. You fix yourself and people around you, people that will come from you, whether they're here already or not. It's not too late. And you're being called to, but you're also being supported. Just keep that in mind. All right, well, I think that'll do it for this message. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate y'all. I love you. It's from my imagination to yours.